Hello. This music is making me imagine a Sucro sprite swap for Link to the Past, even though this is the Four Swords Adventures theme, which is technically slightly different of a video game. I guess Sucro probably is pretty excited to be back. And if Sucro was in Crossworlds of Crosscode, she probably would be a Triblader. Hugo. So I've been trying to tweak the, I was gonna call it a UI, which is not quite right, but like the layout of the stream. So here's a quick question for everyone. Does this screen look better with the bars or without the bars? I'm thinking with, because it really helps separate stuff around. I've also made everyone at the bottom of the screen a bit smaller so they all fit in better and take up less space and make it seem less crowded. And the stream starting soon thing is new. And also there's a ghost in the background, I can't get rid of them. I'm haunted by macaroni now. That's just the way things go sometimes. Oh, and someone said dunk the rabbit in... Sasuke said dunk the rabbit in advance. And to explain, I was thinking about WarioWare and I made this. This is an inside joke that I have with someone. No rabbits are harmed, don't worry about it. I don't think this rabbit could even fit in that glass of water anyway. They just make like a little noise, like a grenade launcher being shot. Except the version of that noise that is a rabbit landing in a glass. You know the one. Do not actually dunk a rabbit in water. That's very bad for rabbits, I believe. But anyway. Hello. Speaking of a rabbit in water, actually. Whoops. Hey, get out of there. I just said that was bad for rabbits. Welcome to Final Fantasy the 14th one. It's been a little while since I streamed this. Yeah, I think rabbits are similar in that way. Wait. Oh, I didn't... Wait, no, the music is enabled. Hey, where'd it go? Hello? Weird, I guess the music just decided to leave. That's fine. But yeah. Today, we begin the Four Lords side quest. There it is. Or rather, we continue it after we made sure to pick it up when it was right next to us in the main story. Because otherwise I would have forgotten where Soroban even was. But yeah, Alphino spent all of the money on a funny sword because he doesn't understand what finances are. But the Scions have a lead as to a cool tip as to where all the money can be found to make up for this problem. So I guess that's what we're up to. Yeah. That scene is great. In all languages. Yeah. Give you a second. You have a funny bit for this? Well, I'll land here and give you a moment then. What do you think, Unlucky Rabbit? So I think this whole series of quests will probably maybe take 2 streams. There's at least one dungeon, or there is one dungeon, and then there's like multiple trials, and of course there's the storyline. So I'm not expecting to complete all of this at once. But we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, also, I could put those bars on this screen as well. I forgot to mention this, but I feel like that's not really necessary, because there's not as much stuff crowding the eyes here. But I am willing to accept opinions on this matter. Oh, and also, I changed the transition animation to stripes for right now. Just trying out different transition animations too. Oh, and I also have this zoom in scene over here in case we need that for some reason. Hello? In case you need to see that up close. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay. I'm waiting for the funny jokes. Oh, I did remember the chat cover this time. Good job, me. I think I mentioned it before, but I kind of like the idea of this particular Unlucky Rabbit like plush being one that Sucro somehow animated with Arcanima. Or like, whoa, Sucro, you doing all right there? Or I don't know, maybe she actually knows how to make mammoths. She does have the title for that. Also, I really like the music in this zone. Also, Heaven on High sure goes up. You know, I'm pretty sure that's way more than 100 floors. Despite being a 100 floor deep dungeon. We'll get there, eventually. I think I count the floors in this tower. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Can you ever... Oh, it does have an end. There is like a... You can see the... Unless it's just 2 draw distance away. They did run out of Lincoln logs eventually.
30. There are 30 billion floors in this tower.
Wow. That was some quick counting, Callie. Oh. Hello. Ah, a vacation outfit. Is that the bit? I guess that makes sense. Oh, you are back from vacation. That does make sense also. Oh, bye. Farewell. Okay. The classic Dragoon self-yeet. It's very important. I think I used to have an outfit with that particular shirt when I was a lot less particular about shirts. But now it's too low cut for me. But anyway, let's look at some lava, I guess. So are we gonna sell the lava or what? That's fair. Hope you haven't been waiting long, Sucro. Well, I mean, you're kind of the one who's been waiting. Sucro's been taking a nap for a week because I wasn't feeling well. My apologies for the delay. I thought it best to explain everything to Mistress Tataru on the way. Honestly, all he had to say is that he'd found a way to make up for Alphino's obscene expenditures. No matter how reckless or dangerous the scheme, if it balances the ledger, I'm all for it. So there's a bunch of monsters living beneath us? What kind of place is this? Well, according to ancient legend, Hell's Lid is where the hero Tenzin defeated a host of Oni. Questioning head tilt. Also, it looks kinda like a funny guy when you look at it from a distance. It's got like a fangly mouth and some horns. Oni were foul, evil beings that tormented the peoples of the Ruby Sea, and this island was home to many until Tenzin, together with the four lords, drove the Oni into the sea. For his heroic deeds, Tenzin was showered with riches. He then journeyed deep into the mountains, far from the realms of men, and lived in solitude with his companions, happily ever after. And now Sucro's being asked to drive the Oni away again? You misunderstand. What I told you was a fairy tale. To the best of my knowledge, no one has ever seen an Oni. If anything, many assume the tale refers to the ancestors of the Kojin. So what you're saying is that you've got no idea what's waiting for us down below. Well, in that case, I'll leave this to the experts. If you need me, I'll be hiding behind that rock over there. I think Tataru is able to scope out the best rocks for hiding behind in advance. It's kind of like the mining ability to find ore deposits, but with like hiding places. And she did try mining for a bit, so maybe she's actually just using that ability. By experts, I presume she means you and your adventuring companions. I do hope you are not counting on me to join you in the fight. Nod. Parentheses determined. You sense the presence of a powerful mark. What? That's the sound of Sucro being ambushed by a hunting mark and dying forever as the camera pans away. Whoops. That's not part of the cutscene, that just sort of happened. What do you mean a powerful mark? Why did my videos folder on my computer open? Well. Yeah. I'm supposing you would like to join the party for this. You're not on vacation anymore, though. You don't need that outfit for this. I will invite you to the party. Oh, you're also on. I will send an invite to you as well. All right, I believe in you. I have faith in your ability to heal. Whenever everyone's ready. Well, I guess maybe I should assume everyone's ready? I don't know. Hell's Lid. Immediately. Such is the power of the tank and also the healer, both existing, and also one DPS. The other DPS might be asleep. They woke up. Oops. Yeah, you're not on vacation anymore. You don't need the vacation outfit. Okay. Let's try and remember how to play the video game. Oh. You are forced to single pull heal, I guess. Here, I guess. I guess these crabs are gonna get obliterated with the full force of my entire rotation. So how's all the volume and whatnot? Hopefully that's doing alright. Oh. I'm wondering if it might be a little loud. Slightly loud? That makes sense. Let me see if I can quickly adjust that. Yeah, I've lowered it a little. Just a little bit. It's difficult to do that sort of thing in the middle of all this, of course. This seems like a loud dungeon, maybe. I can lower it more if need be, but I'll have to find a free moment to do so. Now there's a funky fella. Otakemaru. Oh. Something ominous above, huh? I guess I should probably move away for when you do that, but I guess it's also not really a problem. Wow, this boss is dying quickly too. Grah! Oh, I see. I don't have my gap closer until like level 7002. Yeehaw. Just paladin things. Could have used it a little bit there. I say that as if I wouldn't have just used it on cooldown as an extra damage OGCD anyway, but you know. It's the thought that counts, and also there's a weasel over here. Weasel's moving. Is the volume a bit better now? Or is stuff still a bit loud? There we go. Sounds better? Alright. Surprise, the weasel is boss fight. It's the famous sickle weasel of RPG Maker. Also known as crack, is Razor Wind Kamaitachi in original Japanese Pokemon or something? Because Razor Wind is crack in the green bootleg. I'm not sure the best way to like pick up all of the ads that suddenly appear in fights as a tank sometimes. But I probably did well enough that time. Honestly. Oh, you're right. That is like, I guess this is the Realm Reborn. Well, isn't that kind of the mid-boss music for a lot of the game? And not just Realm Reborn? Ooh, ah! Sound of falling. Sound of falling. That was kind of an Alphino jumping into the water noise, but a lot less. Hey, look, it's enemies labeled Racing. Shoutouts to Racing, the Toho. Shoutouts to Toho 19 being another Phantasmagoria type game, which I'm very excited about. It doesn't have playable Racing, but it does have playable Seiren, who's also a bunny. Ah, okay, Razor Wind is named that in Japanese. Neat. Dead Parrot was such a weird translation quirk. They did fix that eventually in some later version of Phantasmagoria Flower Review's translation patch. Oh hey, it's Nue. Shoutouts to Nue of Toho. Yes, I know that's just a mythological creature, and not Toho exclusive. But still. If I may critique my own tanking for a moment, I forgot to ever use my invincibility button, which is something you should just occasionally use in regular dungeon, because there's no reason not to, really. I also need to remember that I have Passage of Arms for group damage stuff. Turtle. Oh, this fight has mechanics, doesn't it? Well, I'm not a gunbreaker, but that might be the case. Hell of waste. I either forgot to use Goring Blade or it was on cooldown when I was doing the rotation. Fountain blessed waters to frolic and flow. Right. That made some sense, I'm sure. I wish this just did the hexagons minigame in Mario Party. Okay, I think I'm fine where I am. Yeah, okay, I get it. What's that hexagons minigame in Mario Party called, where, like, the toad raises a flag and one of the mushrooms falls down, and then everyone jumps on each other and dies? It would seem a more stringent test is in order. Overcome the gate or be consumed by my waters. Yeah, Reimu's turtle is Genji. That's Hexagon Heat sounds right. What if Genji returns in Toho 19? You are warned, warriors. Survive if you can. We did. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna use this arbitrarily. Hooray! No problem. Hello, welcome. Also, hello, welcome everybody. I think I forget to say that all the time. Oh no! Turtle. Wait, I have a soundboard button for this. Turtle! That's X-Death Dissidia yelling turtle, because of course he does. Oh, the random person left. Hey, does this armor look cool? No, it looks generic. Oh. This poor turtle. If Yugen Magen returned, I would laugh a lot because I often joke about Yugen Magen in Toho. Turtles are specifically shaped to prevent this. Their shells are the self-righting shape. Well, this turtle's old, so maybe he's just having a time. I didn't realize that their shells were actually shaped to prevent this, if that's like an actual thing. But I guess it would make it easier to roll around with the dome shape. I didn't think about it. Oh, you can't cheer when you're sitting down. I have to cheer on the turtle. That does make sense, though. That is a self-righting shape. Maybe the turtle will be encouraged by solidarity. Oh yeah, that is a cool staff, also. That is the, Eureka... No, not Eureka. That's the Bosja's staff, I think? Because I think I looked at that earlier. I was like, what staff is that? It's Blade's Mercy. I'm gonna have to play Bosja at some point. Because it has a cool sword. But I'm not looking forward to... Tactics McTactics Writer. The return of... the writing of Tactics Writer. Anyway. Oh, I'm glad the hexagons have a self-lowering mechanism to go with the self-righting mechanism of the turtle shell. I feel like... Sucro, please help. Please help this turtle. Perhaps we should turn him right side up? Okay, Tataru's helping. That's one way to do it. Why does she look so angry? Okay. Gasp! Creature. Land of Creature is here. And you can float too? If you could float, surely you didn't have to, like, lay there on the ground. Oh ho ho, a marvelous performance. Truly marvelous. But then you did best the Lord of the Revel. By the Kami, a talking turtle! They really do this joke twice in this expansion's side quests? Spoilers, but the Monster Hunter crossover has the opportunity of saying, a talking cat! And if you're a Mikote, there's a special dialogue response to that, where I think the Palico tells you to look in the mirror or something. Everyone just looks at Sora. I don't even know where to begin with that one. I trust you will forgive me my deception. 'Tis something of a far eastern tradition, the testing of strength and so forth. A bit rote, perhaps, but anyway, welcome to the Racing Temple. Hold on. Welcome to the Racing Temple. I feel like... maybe. Welcome. Can I chroma key this white background out without destroying Raisin herself? Hold on. Probably not, right? No, that just deletes Racing. I'm sorry, Racing.
O overdrive. O overdrive drive.
That's true. Hold on. Let's see. Toho Puppet Dance Performance Wiki. Search.
Insert
Racing.
maniacal bunny laughter here.
There, we can have a transparent background Toho Puppet Dance sprite racing around. It's the Racing Temple. She could go over here. She could go over here. She could leave the realm or not. I don't know. Racing, you can be in charge of the closed captions, which I don't think are running, actually. Whoops. I forgot to turn the captions on. There they are. Racing can observe them and make sure they're working. For now. Welcome to Racing Temple. I am Genbu, guardian of this sacred place and leader of our little collective. Genbu, the selfsame Genbu of the Tale of Tenzin, one of the four lords. Under normal circumstances, I would assume you named for the legendary being, but clearly this is anything but normal. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would meet a talking turtle. Okay, they keep making this joke. Oh, but every one of us here can speak your tongue. Is it truly so surprising? After all, we've each lived more than 1,000 years. I knew turtles were long-lived, but I had no idea that was even possible. Living for more than 1,000 years is very important in mythology. In this wondrous land of ours, it is said that a beast which lives 1,000 years attains a measure of divinity. This temple is a place where such auspices may gather. Do I have to add a Toei or Tay as well? She did that. Good job to Tay. Just gonna fill the screen with Tohos by the end of this, because I'm thinking about Toho, as one does. Toho is important. I almost searched Toho on the Toho wiki. Do you think that would have worked? It probably would have worked. Toho's good. This is my opinion, at least for now. Asterisk, it probably will be for a while. Anyway. But take not my word for it. Speak with my comrades and learn their tales. We will talk of the endeavor after. Animal sounds. We may as well do what he says. Besides, who knows what valuable secrets some 1,000-year-old animals may know. Nod. Huh? What was that sound effect? Whatever it was, it reminds me that I should... swap to busy again so I don't get surprise free company invites. Please converse with the others. We can speak of the endeavor once you have a greater understanding of who we are. Komainu. By the way, On is playable in the next Toho. You will go no further. The reason should be plain. Beyond lies the prison of Koryu. Were you to damage the wards, he would break free and all would fall to ruin. Is it that quick? I guess we'll find out. Kodagitsune. A friend of mine, Tamamo Gozen, once called this place home. Possessed of 9 tails, her power far eclipsed my own. But one day she left to live amongst man. What became of her, I wonder? Bad fate, boss. If you chance to meet Tamamo Gozen, I pray you tell her that we all miss her dearly. Haven't seen you around before, you knew? Sure am, just went through the change. Yeah, pretty rare for a rat to live long enough. Rat? I'm an otter, good sir. I did the fate at some point, but I didn't remember that. How much more of the old tales are true? Inugami is my name. Men speak it in hushed tones, mistakenly believing me to be a vengeful spirit that murders indiscriminately. There was a time when I killed men by the hundreds, but that was in retribution for the countless creatures they themselves mercilessly slaughtered. It was most deliberate. I love Inugami, the extreme murder Shiba. Very funny. I think there's multiple extreme murder creatures around here. Senri. Judging from the way you and that woman are gawping, I'm guessing you're not from around here. Don't know how it is in your homeland, but here if an animal manages to survive 100 years, it begins to get ideas. Delusions of grandeur. Some small power, sure, but nothing much to speak of. Survive 10 times that and you become a full-fledged Auspice, though. Speech, magics, it's quite the change, believe me. Which is why we call it the change. What? I never said it was something clever. Anyway, point is, don't let our appearances fool you. I could kill you 5 times before you hit the ground, but I won't on account of me being civil. For now. Yeah, I was right, there are multiple murder creatures here. You met Byako yet? Big old bastard he is, but with a heart like a kitten. But don't tell him I told you that. Come talk to me, Sucro. Talk to the cat or the weasel, and what does the fox have to say? How dare they reference that? Oh, did that... Hey, hang on. Did that chat command not work? Oh, whoops. There's a bit of an error. Excuse me. Hold on for a moment. Let me reopen BikuBot. There we are. Yeah, there it is. I didn't check to see that BikuBot was not connected to OBS, the technology. I've just realized that Raisin's ears are slightly covering my MP, though my HP is also covered entirely by the captions, so it just makes Sucro's current state of being even more mysterious. I'm Nue. If you ever need someone to call lightning down upon your foes and whatnot, I'm your Auspice. Is Auspice how you say that? Of course, some fairy tales would have you believe I'm something altogether different. A monkey's face, a lion's legs, a snake for a tail. Ridiculous, am I right? Not as bad as that horse with the head and body of a rabbit, to be fair, but still. I'm pretty sure Nues can just be whatever they want. Or at least Toho Nue can do that. Tempted to keep adding Toho characters quietly over the course of the stream. I say quietly, but I'm obviously talking about it, so it's not at all quiet, actually. So, you know. Ah, mystery creature. I see. Anyway. Hey, that hurt! You don't have to give it everything you had in that fight. You didn't have to give it everything you had in that fight, you know? I only just went through the change, so it's not like I was gonna slow you down that much. Oh, I see. Well, I suppose you didn't know it was all for show, and I was probably really intimidating. Oh, right, you were asking about the collective, weren't you? Let's see, Genbu's the oldest of us. Oldest in the Far East, too, I think. One of the four lords, so as you can imagine, he's much more powerful than regular old auspices like me. But you probably knew that already. Genbu may be the oldest, but Byaku's gotta be the fuzziest. Not the most impressive claim to fame, but hey, you work with what you got, am I right? Oh, I think that's a pretty good claim to fame, if you ask me. I really like the music around here too, by the way. It's like really subdued and like chill and stuff, but it's nice. That's Serio over there. Oh, missed one. Also just checking. You probably just let me leave though. Headed to the surface? Follow me. Nope. I'm staying around here. Now that you have a greater understanding of who we are, I shall tell you of the rather thorny predicament we now face. The divinity of we auspices manifests in myriad ways. For example, I possess clairvoyance. And with my preternatural power, I've seen a vision of the Ruby Sea, of Yangsha, of Hingashi, subsumed by roaring flames. Gasp. This is no distant future, I fear, and if we are to avert it, we must needs enlist the assistance of an exemplary warrior, one such as she who faced the Lord of the Revel and lived. What should we do? What should we do? Fear not, little one, for I have a plan. But to understand it, you must first understand the duality which lies at the heart of we auspices. Oh, right. How often am I supposed to be checking her dialogue? The Aramitama, the primal rage, and the Nigimitama, the boundless calm. These elemental forces comprise the soul of an auspice, and it's only when they are in balance that we are truly ourselves. Alas, over great spans of time, or when caught in the midst of tumultuous events, this balance may be disrupted and the soul may be divided. An auspice overcome by the Aramitama is a wild, feral thing, all the more dangerous for their divinity. Calamity and catastrophe invariably follow, tremors and floods which destroy men's works. Auspices can bring about these natural disasters? How frightening. Perhaps, but you must remember that there are auspices who delight in aiding the peoples of these lands. Auspices which may have even wreaked havoc in the past. Wreaked havoc? Recall you the tale of Tenzin and the Four Lords? The one Soroban told us before, about a samurai in the auspices who drove the Oni from this island into the sea. Just so, yet I fear his accounting of events is not quite accurate, for it was not Oni we and Tenzin cast out from this place, but an auspice. An auspice with the power to move heaven and earth, Koryu. Wholly consumed by the Aramitama, he stoked the flames in this island's heart until it very nearly erupted in a fiery maelstrom. Tenzin led us in battle against our mad brother, and together we sealed him in this temple. But as the truth of the tale fades from memory, so too do our wards weaken, I fear. Should Koryu break free, he may well finish what he began and ensure my vision of flames comes to pass. So long story short, you want Sukro to give this Koryu what for when he wakes up? Leave it to me. I should think not. Her accomplishments notwithstanding, it would be foolish for any mortal to face Koryu without proper assistance. To wit, that of the Four Lords. Regrettably, I am not the young auspice I once was. And to make matters worse, my three compeers have nearly succumbed to the Aramitama. Kami forfend. 3 of the 4 lords have gone mad. The Ruby Sea is doomed. Nearly succumbed. Nearly. Alas, in marshalling their strength to retain control, they are unable to commit their powers to the preservation of the wards holding Koryu in his prison. And now that you have a full and complete understanding of the situation, we may at last discuss your part in all this, warrior. I would have you and your comrades face mine in battle and quell their raging Arimitama. What say you? Sucro, no. Very well if that's the only way, or, so I don't get to kill them? Well, it's still something. Very well if that's the only way. Sucro doesn't want to kill everybody. Oh ho ho, you are an intriguing one, aren't you? We are grateful for your assistance. Let us brook no further delay and introduce you to another of the 4 lords. I informed Byakko of your arrival when you first entered our domain. You should be returning any moment now. Come, come. I have old pictures of my previous character booping Byakko on the nose, and I think that's very important. There he is. Does everyone have different stuff to say? No. I don't think so. Oh, okay, some of them do. It's been more than a few centuries since I last saw Byakko. He looks good. Gotta talk to all of the creatures. Just to make sure. Because you also talked about Byakko. You be good to Byakko. He's like a big surly brother to us all. A grumpus, eh? I wonder if Kuragetsune has different dialogue if you have completed the Tamamo Gozen Fate. I wonder if that's a flag that exists in the world. Oh, there's more creature over here. Y'all have anything to say? That's it, I'm gonna go and see the sacred crystal right this instant. Don't do it, Genbu's gonna put a curse on you. Ah, you can't scare me! Wiggle, 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 wiggle. This boar is wiggling. Do you actually wiggle all the way over to somewhere and then say something? Look, this is also important. None shall pass. Just this once, please. Set one hoof inside and Genbu will curse you for 10,000 years. Fine, but you haven't heard the last of this. Time to wiggle all the way back. Look at they go indeed. I'm the escort. Making sure the wiggler is safe. They wouldn't let me pass. Of course not. They didn't before, so why would they now? I'm glad that this dialogue exists and you can actually like follow the little boar around. Don't be shy, he doesn't bite, not without cause at the very least. He's quite a bit bigger than the other animals, isn't he? A magnificent coat of fur that shimmers as snow, as befits Byakko, the white tiger of legend. A manful in our midst. I hate manfuls. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, Sparrow. Ah, what a stalker. Oh no. They had fun designing this area. Sucro's chasing a bird. This is just cat behavior. Okay, that's all you have to say. The boar's still running back and forth, trying their best. Alright, hey there, Byakko. Okay. Before we speak to Byakko, an important feature of Byakko is that you can use the group pose settings to adjust the camera. To make Byakko look at the camera, I mean. This is vital. Oh, aimed a bit high there. Booped. You missed a little bit, but it's the thought that counts.
Snoot successfully booped.
We can have Byakko just look at the camera. Like, I can't believe that happened. Sukro looks so pleased with herself. Hehehe, I booped it. There. That's a better lead-in to the follow-up. This was important. I forgot there were voices in this part at all, but I guess that makes sense. Old friend, the day of reckoning draws nigh. The words will fall and Koryu will break free. Before he does, you must quell the raging Arimitama within your soul. This warrior will help. Doubt not her strength, for she's danced with Susanoo himself. A bold, audacious claim, yet if Genbu believes it true, aye, the more I look at you, the more of him I see. A similar presence, perchance. A light. Very well, I will bow to my brother's judgment. Wonderful. Then without further ado, I shall bid my comrade relax and surrender to the Arimitama. What, here, now? Won't he go on a murderous rampage? Why, yes, that's rather the point. He will be reduced to the feral beast. But here's maybe not the best place for that. And then it will be Sukro, was it? Sukro's turn to do battle with my brother and help him quell the fury within. But if all it takes to quell the Arimitama is battle, then why did you not do the same for Koryu? Why seal him away? Because it was too late. As I said, Koryu was wholly consumed by the Arimitama, not remained of the Nigimatama. All that he was forever lost to us. The effort I expend to hold back the fury I will instead use to safeguard the calm. It is then you must act. But know that if you fail, it will only hasten my fall. My soul is in your keeping, Sukro. Do you understand? Determined. Then let us quit this place. Genbu may not mind the chaos, but if I am to wager my everything, I prefer to do so in the land of my birth. To look upon those familiar wilds with eyes that may soon belong to another. When you return to the island, look for Fury. He will guide you back here. Given the circumstances, perhaps it's best that we stay here. Would that be acceptable? Oh, Soraban, was it? Be at ease. I have a task for you and your excitable urchin. Follow me. Excitable urchin? Did that tiny talking turtle just insult me? Tutaru sharpens her knife. Her knife made of financial wisdom. Anyone else have anything different to say now? Probably not. Probably not until after Byakko. These three, though, will. I would go with you if I could, believe you me, but it seems we're needed here. Best of luck to you, Sucro. I do wonder what he'll ask of us. I have no doubt you will succeed. There's a bunch of people sitting around here. Whoops. This is the map where Tamamo Gozen can occur, by the way, I believe. No, the illegal bananas are in Saga 2, and the 4 mythological creatures that we are dealing with here are in Saga 1. However, Saga 1 is the one where you can chainsaw God to kill him instantly. I don't remember, like, the proper title for this set of 4 individuals, like, in mythology. It's not just the 4 lords or whatever, is it? Hello again. We are here. My earliest memories are not pleasant. From birth I was shunned by man and beast alike, for my snow-white fur marked me a harbinger of doom. Cast out and hunted, I struggled to survive. But I endured. I grew older and wiser, and one day I resolved to protect this place and those that call it home, for in spite of everything, it was mine as well. In time, they came to see me as a guardian instead of a demon. And yet, for all I've done to rise above the beast within, I may fall to madness and become the sum of their fears. Have faith, you will not fall. Such confidence from one so young. But as age in of itself does not confer wisdom, nor does youth go hand in hand with hubris. I warn you, for centuries has my Arimitama grown and festered. Hold nothing back, for I will not. Warrior, the time has come for you and yours to make ready. May the Kami grant you strength to save my soul. They do get to this part pretty quick, huh? That's cool. The Jade Stoa, now accessible. Maybe I'm just not used to things having a fast pace after Ivalice. Well then. I suppose I shall invite Karma again as well. Yeet. Yeet indeed. Now, I will say in advance that I did not read any guides related to these trials at all. So I'm winging it. Which is on brand because I also create wings. So it's fine. I need to make sure to not have Hell's Lid in the queue. I don't remember these fights very well. I have done this storyline before, unlike Ivalice. But I don't think I'll remember any of it. And I think I've only done each of these fights like a single time. But they're probably cool. I mean, it's this video game. Trials are usually cool in this video game. Karma is mentioning a Robotnik skydiving YouTube poop music video, which I don't think I know. I know they'll conquer Planet Freedom. I know win the race. There's a few Robotnik ones I'm familiar with. All right. But yeah, I think these fights are pretty cool, probably. I don't remember them very well. I do know that Byakko has my least favorite weapon rewards of the group, especially with the fancy effects versions that are just very busy looking. But I will also say that there are at least 2 trials in this set with really cool swords. Specifically like the extreme versions of the swords that don't have a lot of weapon effects everywhere.
It begins.
Oh.
Receive of me my fury.
That's your voice.
Children of man, and quell it.
I'm a cat! Ah! That's the Byakko voice. Probably. Oh, right. You do this. I forgot about that somehow.
There is no turning back.
Oh, I guess I'm not the main tank. Fair enough. But I have got to stand around next to the tank.
Steel yourself.
Now, hold on, let me reduce target, okay. Gotcha. So I do have a way to mitigate other tank busters. I just have to make sure, because I haven't actually had the opportunity to use intervene yet, I think. Oh, you got orb? Oh, you got whatever that was. Perhaps that's something that it's best not to think about. Or maybe both count.
Twofold is my wrath. Twice cast my foes.
Oh, well, now it's definitely both.
Creation trembles before my might. Behold, fury given fall.
Whee! With so many people in the party have like fancy glowing weapons, and that kind of makes this look really cool somehow.
My wrath is a ceaseless torrent.
Oh, I forgot about. Now I see why the skydiving. Okay, this is really cool. I forgot about this entirely. I bet this is fucked up in extreme mode. Whoop. I got a golden stack. Okay, yeah, this is really cool. I forgot that this trial was really cool.
To ashes with you!
Oh. I was a bit late on the Divine Veil, but...
Impressive! Very well, I shall bring all to bear!
Impressive!
Lightning Sear! Tempest Surge! Lightning Sear! Still yourself!
Oh, I didn't even realize. Oh god.
You're mine!
Okay, this time I'm realizing.
Tempest Surge!
Oh right, I have Passage of Arms. I forgot again. There we go. I used it. Oh god, there's AoEs right there. My brain didn't parse that quick. Now there's orbs everywhere too. The second guy. I'm really appreciating Paladin's magic moveset, giving me ranged attacks though. That's something I'm noticing. Hurrah! We did it. Orb. Cat. Yeah, that was really cool, actually. Such serenity, such peace. Are we just gonna like, though my body aches, are we just gonna sit around every boss that we fight? That's kind of funny. What? No commendations. Boo. Just kidding, I don't really care that much, probably, hopefully. Hey, what's up? You are indeed the warrior, they say. Not unlike him in many respects. Or, you are indeed the warrior. No, that's not the voice. This is okay, there's a reason I'm not voice acting everything, but also, I could do that. Anyway. The reason is actually to spare my own voice from taking damage, but also, I don't want to subject everyone to whatever that was. "'Twas in another era that we first met, him and I, long, long before the kingdom of Doma. Oh, nice, fancy border here. I told you before of my past, how I was shunned by man and beast alike for the snow-white fur that marked me as a harbinger of doom. For a harbinger of doom, you sure didn't inflict a doom status at any point in the fight. Bereft of family and friendship, of home, I wandered the mountains in search of a place to call my own. There I would accept my fate and await the inevitable." I guess there was no doom status because he's not actually a harbinger of doom, they just thought he was. Cat, 2! But death did not come, for I was unlike my brothers in more respects than my fur. Oh, alright. I don't think it'll be that quick. I think there's a little bit more in between stuff than that. I was unlike my brothers in more respects than my fur. With every century I grew stronger and stranger. Monstrous. In turn, what few creatures dared traverse my domain withdrew further and further. Never had I been so alone. And then one day I awoke to find a man standing before me. Bewildered, I rose and bared my fangs as I roared in rage. "Hi. Begone, or I shall rend you asunder and feast on your flesh. What fool has the temerity to approach me thus?" But the man did not flee, rather he stood his ground and said, "This fool is named Tenzin, and ever since he was a child he spoke the language of beasts." What? "Then you know full well what you stand to lose. Return to your people or die." Ha! But Tenzin threw back his head and laughed. "They would kill me if I dared. For fear of my talents I was banished. A harbinger of doom they called me." In that instant, all my anger drained away. Tenzin's words had struck at the heart of me. Here was a fellow outcast, cursed by his kin for his very nature. Oh yeah, Tenzin totally had the echo, huh? But also, all of these creatures can communicate with Sukro and Tataru and Soroban. Therefore, clearly Tataru secretly had the echo this whole time. And that's the real plot twist. That'd be funny, though. I think she should have the echo. I think she deserves it. Asterisk. Saying someone deserves the echo could also be considered negative because there's a lot of shenanigans that go with the echo. Tataru deserves good stuff, not headaches and trauma. But yeah, I guess that's probably true too. Byakko might not be an auspice at this point. Here was a fellow outcast, cursed by his kin for his very nature. That night, as I listened to his snoring, I realized I'd found in this man a kindred spirit. And he had a cool sword too. Soon after we embarked on a journey together. In the days that followed, we met other solitary souls and aided them as we'd aided each other. But those tales are for another time. Those are tales for another time. I doubt very much you're willing to stand here in silence while I recount my every adventure with Tenzin. I don't know, Sucro loves to stand around in silence and listen to people. As a warrior of light, that is generally what the protagonist of this game loves to do. Come, let us return to the temple. Genbu is doubtless eager to learn the outcome of our battle. Oi! I see that you've chosen Super Jump as your movement power in City of Heroes. Byakko. Okay, gotta go back over here then. Whenever I see the word auspicious, I just think of one of those many times when I was looking. There are times when I go onto a buying items website and look up plushies, and just because I just want to look at cute plushies or whatever. And there are many plushies where I find that they have diagrams or text accompanying them that is not in like perfectly written English. Not unlike a bootleg translation or a machine translation or awkward translation of that sort. And there was at least one, like, dog of some kind that was labeled Auspicious Beginnings. I think that might have been the name of, like, a company that sold some stuff or something. One of the sellers on website of buying items. So I just think about weird dog plushies that are labeled Auspicious Beginnings whenever I see that word. That's a very specific sort of anecdote, I guess. No need to explain. Genbu's told me all about you and the thrashing you gave him and the others. Need me to escort you back to the temple? And so we did. Yeah, that makes sense. In this case, it's mostly a pun on auspice, I suppose. Looks like we owe you one, Sucro. I'd certainly have balked at facing Byakko in battle, what with those fangs and claws. Inugami is just talking about murder still. As you do. I guess the Sparrow doesn't ever chill, probably. Well, I'll be. He didn't kill you. Shame, I had a bet with the others. Nothing personal, mind. No need to chase anyone into the sea or anything silly like that, eh? I like how all of the animals are silly. All of these auspices are silly people. Please do not disturb us, Sucro. We're in the middle of a very important training session. Never meet your heroes, my friend. Far too long has it been since I had the opportunity to unleash my full potential. Stakes notwithstanding, it was a pleasure, warrior. Well done, Sucro, well done. You have done my friend a great kindness, one we shall not soon forget. Smile, nod. What's going on over here, though? I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm afraid to ask. Or what exactly did you ask Soroban to do? What exactly did you ask? Oh, you needn't be so concerned. You know well the power of the Kojin's incantations, yes? I've but asked Soraban to undergo a little training that he might assist us with the maintenance of the wards. He's demonstrated a remarkable aptitude thus far, in fact. How much longer must I continue? Concentrate, less chatting and more chanting. Less chatting, more chanting, there's no and. What youthful energy. It's been far too long since we had the pleasure of such company, not since Tenzin, I imagine. I've been meaning to ask, what sort of man was Tenzin? We only just learned the stories, and you've already said they were half wrong. Curious, are you? Very good, very good. Far too many people have no interest in the past. Sucro loves history, though. What to say, what to say? Well, for one, Tenzin was blessed with the self-same power Sucro possesses. The Echo, I believe it's sometimes called? Oh, they just outright say that, huh? Neat. Alas, as you probably know from personal experience, such individuals are often regarded with suspicion, if not outright fear. Not so much these days, really. Not as much. Nevertheless, Tenzin was a generous soul who was ever eager to aid his fellow man. Hello, welcome back. Indeed, he died as he lived, fighting for the sake of those he loved. You see, when he faced Koryu, we four lords were still quite young and weak. Not even Auspicious in truth. Okay, they outright say that too. And we could but look on helplessly as the two dragged one another to the brink of death. With the last of his strength, Tenzin imprisoned the mortally wounded Koryu. He then bequeathed to us a sacred treasure, a crystal which shone with an otherworldly light. Oft as oh, wait. If he had the Echo and a crystal, was he just straight up a warrior of light as well? And I think I remember something about that, actually. I don't think he quote unquote just has the Echo. I think he was just a warrior of light type person. Oft have I wondered if this crystal was the source of the powers we would grow to possess. Would we have become the four lords without it? In my heart, I think not. We built this temple to strengthen the wards and safeguard the Ruby Sea in Tenzin's stead. His legacy would be ours, and so it has been to this day. And so it will continue to be, but only if we can rely upon you to quell the Arimitama of our comrades. That can wait, though. Byakko needs his rest, and so do you, Sucro. In that case, it'd probably be for the best if I went back to Kugane. There's no telling what mischief that man will get up to in my absence. Nod. I too should take my leave. Doubtless I am needed in Tamamizu. Oh, you're not going anywhere. Your training is far from finished, my friend. But I can't possibly refuse the request of the four lords, can I? I hate to impose upon you, Sucro, but perhaps you can go to Tamamizu in my stead. It may be some time before I'm permitted to return home. Nod. I should be most grateful if you were to tell the elder of my plight, that is to say, this great honor which has been bestowed upon me by the four lords. You've done more than enough for one day, Sucro. For now, you and Byakko should rest. Oh, if you have any questions about this or that, Senri should be glad to entertain them. Peace reigns in my heart once more. Such tranquility, such serenity. Gotta check. Everyone. Yeah, okay, maybe not everyone. Senri, though. Teach me of the lore. This is the lore I care about. Oh, you're still here? Got something you'd like to ask? What are auspices? Tell you what, I'll repeat the exact same thing I told you before when I first laid eyes on you and your bewildered friends. Okay, that's funny, even in quotes. Fair enough. What is Racing Temple? The temple? Now I know someone had to have told you about that before. Forgetful bugger, aren't you? Okay, now they're making fun of me for checking the lore questions. A long, long time ago, an auspice named Koryu succumbed to the Arimitama and went mad with rage. You know, kill everyone, destroy everything. Anyway, Tenzin and the four lords put a stop to his murderous rampage and sealed him here. Afterwards, in order to strengthen the wards binding Koryu, the four lords used their powers to build a magnificent temple. And that temple is this one, of course. You don't see any other temples around here, do you? Now, this really ought to go without saying, but don't go messing about the inner sanctum or touching the sacred crystal or breaking the sacred wards. Not unless you want to free Koryu and turn the Ruby Sea into the Ruby Sea of Fire or something. Of course, since the world's filled with treasure hunters and cavalier idiots, the four lords hid the temple and recruited fellow auspices like yours truly to stand guard. So it was, while it was never intended to be a home for us, it more or less became one. Who was Tenzin? Ah, Tenzin. Never knew him personally, but a decent bloke by all accounts. He was a samurai and traveling companion of the four lords. Apparently, he had the ability to converse with all sorts of living creatures. Some even said he could converse with the star itself, silly as it sounds. Yeah, that's just Heidelin. They're just telling me he was a warrior of light. I think that's a plot point that they say more directly later. Anyway, Tenzin made no effort to hide his conversational talents, which invariably led to people calling him a demon or a witch. But despite that, he still liked to lend a helping hand where he could. Can't say I'd have done the same, but it seems to have paid off in the end. At some point during his travels with the four lords, people start calling Tenzin a hero, and tales of his daring do reach the ears of this king who decides to summon Tenzin and ask him to give Koryu what for. Sure enough, Tenzin says yes. Now Tenzin's stronger than the four lords at this point even, and we've already established his altruistic streak. So off he goes, phoenix blade in hand, confronts Koryu, sacrifices himself to seal the mad auspice away. Should have seen that one coming, am I right? The Ruby Sea and everyone in it are saved. People tell their children and their children's children of Tenzin's deeds, changing the details bit by bit. And that's how we end up with a ridiculous story about him and the four lords driving a host of Oni into the sea. You know, not only is Tenzin clearly a warrior of light, like, he's clearly the protagonist of his own game. Like, the tale of Tenzin could easily be its own RPG. In fact, I think if this storyline had been made later in this game's life, I bet there would be spoilers for future mechanics, but starting somewhere in this lead up to Shadowbringers, there will be some duties that are like, for this duty, you will play as a different character, which is really cool when it first happens. And also every time it happens, and I'm sorry to spoil that, but I'm thinking that if they had made this whole segment later in the game's life, there would have been a, for this duty, you are playing as Tenzin moment. There would be like a flashback or something, I bet you. This is a bet that cannot be resolved because we can't see the alternate timelines of the world, but I bet you nonetheless. Who's Genbu? Genbu? Hasn't he been talking your ear off this whole time? Thought you'd know by now who he is. I mean, I'll indulge you if that's what you really want. Senri is the best, explaining the lore NPC in the game. This is my opinion now. He's old and wise and he's got bad eyes. Genbu! What? Okay. My opinion stands strong after this one extra line that I read. But seriously, he's one of the four lords, the most powerful, or at least he was at one time. He'd be the first to tell you he's not as spry as he used to be. But I suppose that's to be expected, given that he's been using his strength to sustain Koryu's wards for, several millennia, give or take? That's sure to wear anyone down. Who's Byakko? You're asking about our Byakko? Great big white tiger? The one you and your fellow warriors fought in a pitched battle to save his soul? Not some other Byakko, to be clear? Like Genbu, he's one of the four lords, from Yangsha originally, though that was long before my time. Apparently his fellow tigers didn't much care for his snow-white coat and cast him out. Personally, I'm rather envious of it. Can you imagine me with those stripes? No? Never mind. Where was I? Alright, so one day Tenzin chances to meet Byakko, who does his usual "go away or I'll eat your face" bit. Tenzin's having none of it, and somehow manages to convince Byakko to stop sulking and instead join him on an adventure or two. Wouldn't you know it, the old curmudgeon takes to life on the road like a fish to water. Two become inseparable, and together they manage to save Yangsha from half a dozen calamities. Just goes to show you never know until you try, eh? Yeah, okay, even though Senri is mostly recapping stuff that we already know, I think it's vitally important that we ask Senri about everything because this dialogue is really good. this guy's just gonna do a cool pose with his gunblade every time he sees me. And that's fine. It's because the game is loading, you see. Loading in his model and thus starting it at the beginning of the animation, I mean. Okay. This person distracted me because their outfit and their hairstyle reminded me of like Alphino and Alizé a little bit. You know, he could very well have averted actual calamities for all we know. Soroban will be staying with Genbu for a time. How wonderful to hear. I have no doubt he will make the most of his most blessed opportunity. Oh, I have another missive for you. It was delivered personally by an unusual cat. An Auspice, I presume. Is this also Senri? Guess we'll find out. Oh, Genbu. Genbu's missive delivered by a cat. You're welcome to come and go from the temple as you like. Fury will remain at his post above ground. You need only seek him out. I should be glad if you take him up on his invitation and look in on Soroban every now and then. After all, he is in essence our representative there. Is Iroha the Byakko music, maybe? I'm not sure. Tortoise in time! And also... a vacation Hrothgar has appeared next to me. Everyone's on vacation these days. A pleasure as ever to see you, my friend. Would that I could say the same for Soroban. He's yet to return to Tamamizu, so I can only assume he's still busy undergoing Genbu's rigorous training. Phone call. Hello? Hello? Sucro? Is my link pearl working? So unreliable, these little things. I'm going to pay a visit to Racing Temple to see Soroban. Give him a treat to keep his spirits up. If you're available, you should come too. I hope you haven't forgotten how to get there, but in case you have, look for the cute animal trying not to look like a guard on duty in the middle of the volcanic island. I was, of course, not privy to your conversation just now, but on the off chance that you're bound for Racing Temple, give Soroban and Genbu my regards. Okay, I'm starting to become curious. Would we by any chance happen to know the specific writer of this side quest line? Because I think the writing here is pretty enjoyable. I wonder if we know this. It's sort of like a lightly comedic tone, while also delivering a semi-serious story well as well. I might also be biased in favor of this writing because I just completed Ivalice and I really disliked it. Apologies to all Ivalice fans in the chat, but the writer of that is directly quoted as saying, I don't like working with other people such as editors Lamau. That's not the direct quote. I may have, what's the word? Made that up. No, that's not it. Paraphrased is the word I was looking for. Hello, welcome. We're on the second stage of the Four Lords questline, having defeated Byakko. Aha, I predicted that you would ask. It's funny that there's an entrance right here, and you might think, oh, that's how you get to the place, but no, that's just the entrance to Hell's Cure, probably. Headed for the temple or just taking in the wonderful smoky air? Also, if you're wondering why there's Toho characters on screen, it's because it's Race and Temple. And also, Tay is definitely an Auspice, and also there's a Nue that was mentioned somewhere. But in any case, before we continue, I'm going to BRB. This is what I was talking about. This is the auspicious beginning. Funny dog. A funny dog of sorts. This would be a good plushie if it weren't for the fact that it's the genre of dog that they decided they needed to show a butthole on. Because I guess some people think that's funny and I don't like it. Still a pretty good dog from this angle. But I do hate that. Regardless, I'm doing alright tonight to answer that question. Yeah. I guess, for the sake of showing it, I did tweet this, and we did see the original thrown together quickly craftily on the Pokemon stream, but here's the illustrated version of craftly. If you look closely, you can see that it says sinner instead of dinner. Smile, it's ghost. But anyways, my shenanigans aside, I'm doing alright today, I think. I'm enjoying this questline a lot so far. That's a heart made of cheese. Wow. And, yeah. Also, regarding the mention of Pokemon Infinite Fusions, I'm still considering maybe streaming that sometime. I think it could be fun. I want to see if my idea of fusing everything with Electrode to make Orb Squad is as funny as it sounds. You got anything else to say yet, Inugami? Nope. Just people speaking your name in hushed tones because you do— Oh, meow! Oh, him? He's just some cat that wandered in. Wandered in? Past the guards and wards and guards and hot and liquid magma? Torojiro is here. I hope this funny cat starts speaking later in the side quest chain. I hope this funny cat is like almost an auspice like right now. Genmu yet has an eye for talent. That Kojin may be young, but he has tremendous potential. I expect he will be most formidable several centuries from now. The little boar still wants to see that crystal. I'm way more invested in the lore and NPCs of this questline than Ivalice, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I agree. Also, speaking of how I keep complaining about Ivalice, I think another thing that could be worth mentioning is I threw together, like, I guess a tier list of my opinions about the story so far that Sucro has experienced. Perhaps I should mention that on stream as well. Let me find it. It's not super complicated, and we only have so many quest lines completed so far. But the tier list that I did put together at that point in time when I did that was as follows. Great. Heavensward. Pretty good. 2.x, 3.x, Scholasticate, Hildebrand, Alexander. It's fine. Warring Triad, Binding Coil, Crystal Tower, Void Arc. Realm Reborn, and Stormblood and Ivalice. So that's my opinion so far, in case you were wondering. So far, this questline I think would probably go in pretty good. Or maybe even great, because I'm liking it a lot for some reason, but we'll see. And I think 4.x would also probably go in pretty good. Yeah, that's one of my main complaints about Ivalice, I think, Razir. It feels really self-important the whole time. Like the writer just going, look at me, look at how cool I am, I'm relevant to the lore now, the lore was my ideal all along. That Ultima is actually named after my Ultima because I'm cool, etc. And also just like the pacing is atrocious and they needed an editor, and the writer was officially like in an interview or something mentioned that he doesn't like working with other people that can like edit his stuff or whatever, and it's really obvious. Anyway, enough complaining about Ivalice. I don't mind so much that the bosses talk because at least the gameplay is still happening at the same time. I think the pacing was really bad, mostly. And like, if I had to boil it down to 2 complaints, it'd be like the pacing is really bad and the writing was really self-important. But like a subset of the pacing is really bad is needed an editor. Somewhat for the dungeon mechanics too, but mostly for the writing. Anyway. I'll try not to complain about Ivalice too much. I'll also say that of the other stuff that I've seen, or like other stuff that I played on my other character in the past, Shadowbringers would probably also be in the great tier. I didn't play enough of 5.x to rank that, and I didn't play enough of Nier to rank that, though I will say, as a warning in advance again, that I don't like Nier for personal reasons, basically. So that's probably going to get a pretty low ranking on that list, too. Apologies to Nier fans. And there's basically a whole bunch of other stuff I haven't done yet, or done enough of. But anyway. Yeah, I've heard Shadowbringers. I've heard a lot of people say Endwalker is like even better than Shadowbringers, but I've also heard that Shadowbringers was like the best one, including Endwalker, from like a few people. So I'm expecting them to be on a similar level, at least. I guess that's fair, but like my reasons for disliking Nier are very like personal, and like just the attitude and aura it exudes kind of, I guess, triggers me some. So, you know, we'll get there. Oh, hello there. I pray you excuse my panting. Genbu is a rather demanding teacher, but I will not rest until granted leave to do so. Hello, says Sucro. Oh, well met, brave adventurer. You are come alone this day? What of the urchin girl I recall nipping at your heels? That's Tataru, and I'll thank you not to forget it, or else you'll get no takoyaki from me. Oh my, that would be most unfortunate. My sincerest apologies. I shall endeavor to remember, little urchin Tataru. Why are you trolling Tataru, Genbu? That's dangerous. Of course, your name I will not soon forget, for you saved my dear friend Byako from descending into madness. Yeah, I don't have to engage much with the story, of the Nier raids, I guess. I'll look at as much of it as I feel like in the moment. I think the presentation of some of it was pretty cool from the one part of it that I did. It's just that something about like the design, like character design aesthetic is one way to put it, of like Yoko Taro, bothers me, is one way to put it. Basically, I think Yoko Taro is unashamedly horny, and I wish he would cut it out. Because that upsets me. Because I have issues. I don't know how openly I should just be discussing this all the time on stream. But, yeah. Yoko Taro's inflicted an undying ass plague upon the game by implementing 2B's outfit, and I loathe that as well. But anyway, we saved Byako from descending into madness. That's pretty good. It's good that you're here, Sucro. Soroban has made great strides in his training. It's true, but I believe we need to consider more drastic methods. Though he's not without potential, Soraban as he is simply lacks divinity. Should we carry on as we are, he may not be ready when we have need of his strength. As with Byakko before, there will come a time when we must confront Seiryu and Suzaku, right, and quell the raging Arimitama within them. Accordingly, we must use every means at our disposal, no matter how dangerous, to ensure that we are prepared. No matter how dangerous? What exactly did you have in mind? Oh, there's no need for fearful trembling or withdrawing into one's shell. All I would have you do is open a box. Oh, is that all? Well, I've opened my fair share of boxes. But know that it's no ordinary box which you must open. It's a Tamate Bako of geomancy, a sacred vessel which harbors the very power of time itself. And yet you say there's no need for fearful trembling? This box sounds terribly dangerous. To what end would you have me open it? That you may bathe in its temporal magics and age 1,000 years in an instant. That you may undergo the change and become an Auspice, albeit until the magics dissipate. You would have me become an Auspice like the Four Lords? Everyone comforts Soraban. Hold on, Sucro, you didn't come across one of those... Didn't you come across one of those Tamate Bako in Shisui of the Violet Tides? You did, didn't you? Oh, wow. That's an optional dungeon, Tataru. Thank you for noticing that I did that, I guess. Nod. Can you do this part without seeing that? I am aware of similar relics in possession of the Rhine, however their magics alter only the appearance of those exposed. A mummer's trick, a glamour, altogether unlike the phenomenal power of the Tamate Bako we seek. Know that this is no legend, but incontrovertible truth, for the one who created the Tamate Bako of geomancy was a fellow Auspice. Like many of us, he'd lived long enough to see comrades become consumed by the Arimitama, see them descend into madness and lay waste to the lands they'd sworn to protect. And like many of us, he had no choice but to put an end to their rampages. This Auspice knew full well that he was destined to share their fate, and so before he too fell from grace, he resolved to craft the Tamate Bako of geomancy. And when his work was complete, he bathed in its magics until he was no more. By the Kami, he chose to die while his mind was still his own. I don't know what to say. Once the true potential of the box was understood, that it could bring death to an Auspice, it was decided that it should be placed under lock and key in the Swallow's Compass until we had need of it. However, the Grand Mausoleum of King Ganon has been abandoned, but not that one, has been abandoned but to the Shikigami forever, bound to its halls as guardians, and only a warrior of surpassing strength can hope to overcome their trials. I forgot there were 2 dungeons in this series of quests. Wow. Sorry about that. Had to mute the mic for a second. Blow my nose. Only a warrior or paladin of surpassing strength can hope to overcome their trials. Nod. Steel yourself, Soraban. Until the moment Sucro returns with the Tamate Bako of geomancy, you must train like you've never trained before. Yes, of course. Back straight, keep those hands up. If I'm not satisfied with your performance, then no takoyaki for you. The box is hidden in the heart of the Swallow's Compass, the tome of Ganon and Yangsha. Kamaitachi has gone on ahead to open the way. Seek him out. It is written that only Sucro can go to the castle of Ganon. I don't know what I'm doing. My brain stopped working for a second. Anyone else have anything unique to say at this point? Probably not. I like how Byakko's just hanging out around here now. You are for the Swallow's Compass, I'm told. Know that the guardian of the relic you seek was a disciple of its creator, and will surely fight to defend it most fiercely. That makes sense. Yeah. End of Stormblood level range is a pretty big deal for warriors specifically. Because, ooh. Allow me to look at my actions and traits. I forgot I got warrior to 70, actually. But yeah, of course I did. Inner release at 70 is like a major deal. Unfortunately, I don't think I particularly like warrior. It's got a couple animations that I also dislike. For reasons I was talking about disliking stuff earlier and how my brain connects everything to problems. But anyway, I also like Paladin, so that's fine. Paladin level 70 is not a great level for Paladin because you get Holy Circle at 72 and you get Intervene at 74, so you lack your AoE resource spender and your gap closer at 70. So I have to do a lot of content without those two tools, which is a shame, a bummer. But, you know, when does switch to Gunbreaker for 1 second? Gunbreaker gets continuation at 70, so that's a pretty big deal. But they don't get Fated Circle until 72. They have their gap closer at 56 though, at least, so. Gunbreaker's in a slightly better state than Paladin in that regard. But at least I have my frickin' magic stuff sometimes. And yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't mind it. Those are just two things that I notably miss frequently in level 70 content. I think I mentioned this on the last stream of this game. Oh, right. Dark Knight gets the Blackest Night, which is like the... My impression of Dark Knight is that the Blackest Night is basically like their signature tank move. Like, more or less. Like, it's a super valuable tool. Like, it's not their signature move in the sense that it defines their entire job, but like, it also kind of does. I don't know if I will try Dark Knight or Gunbreaker more at any point, because I did swap away from those for the sake of playing a class that uses a bit less actions per minute for the sake of my hands that hurt quickly sometimes. Most powerful button in the entire game. Yeah, okay, so maybe it is their signature deal. I don't remember exactly what it does, but maybe we'll see me try Dark Knight again at some point. Maybe not. But like, for the sake of my hands, which hurt quickly, I think Paladin is overall a better choice. Warrior would be the best in that regard, but I have other reasons for not playing Warrior. And if I ever truly start, like, if my hands ever truly start falling apart, I might just have to swap away from tank in general and play Summoner or something. But yeah. Oh, hey, you made it, finally. I've only been waiting here for forever and a day, but hey, it's not like we've got a potential calamity to worry about or anything. Anyway, I've already taken care of the ward sealing the tomb's entrance, but you're free to go in and get the box. But whatever you do, don't open it. Oh, and one more thing. I'll wager they told you about the Shikigami, but forgot to mention that the box itself is guarded by one of us, a tough bugger and a half. But you're a pretty tough bugger yourself, eh? You gave Byakko what for after all, just don't say I didn't warn you. The Swallow's Compass is now accessible. And yeah, that's true too. I also just like Paladin's aesthetic and playstyle. Shame about the job quests, but you know, like, hey. Alright. Swallow's Compass. Time for a dungeon that I forgot existed. That is true. And also, like, the paladin job quests were, like, entertainingly bad in a way. They were worth showing, and I'm glad that I did show them. And, like, the 70 to 80, or the 60 to 70 job quests for paladin weren't bad. They were fine. If I had to put job quests on that tier list system, I would probably put paladin overall as with Stormblood and Evilise. Or maybe I should say with that sort of expression. Hey, wait a minute. Do I have more scan lines when I'm sad? That's weird. I'll have to look into that later. Did I do something weird? That's probably fine. Sometimes when you're sad, you like fade away from reality a little bit more. I remember this dungeon, I just forgot that it was here. Ah, we've got a dancer. Geomantic Kyofusa. Oh, I forgot my tank stance. It's fine, I got it now. I got pranked by the tank stance turning off like it does. I remember running this dungeon a fair number of times, so I must have been playing the game while this was an expert roulette. I'm guessing I can't. Yeah, okay. Water, earth, and wind combine to form a protective ward. None shall trespass the heart of water. I think it's interesting how often dungeons start like dividing themselves up more in the sense that you can't just pull the entire dungeon because they put walls in the way. But they do still have parts where you're allowed to pull everything. So they just sort of like subdivide the dungeon a bit more, I think. Yeah, this quest chain's pretty good. So far, I would recommend it. None shall trespass the heart of earth. Honestly, I think that's probably a good thing. That dungeons don't allow you, or like there's more designed around like the pacing and not pulling the entire dungeon. I feel like that makes the dungeons have more impact. Or like each individual enemy encounter becomes more memorable in that way. Or like individual section of the dungeon. Though I'm sure many people complain because they're not allowed to blitz through things quite as much as they were before, or at least they perceive that to be the case. I'm sure the dungeons are also balanced around that in terms of like how long each encounter takes, etc. I'm definitely up for helping you out later, Rika, if you want. If you ever want to go through some stuff that requires other people to play, I will help. If you would like. I do know exactly which pull you're talking about, I think, Forpy. I'm pretty sure Mount Golg is the one where if you try to pull everything, it can go scary. Oh, a Tengu. Yay! You who are not geomancers must die this day. The Covenant demands it. If this was a Neo game, I'd be very concerned right now. Like, I'm pretty concerned about... I would be pretty concerned if I found myself playing a Neo or whatever in general, because that game stressed me out and made me upset. But also, I happen to know that Tengu are very scary in those. Every time I see a Tengu, I think about how they're scary in that video game. If I were to continue the running joke of placing Toho characters on the screen, I could also put Aya down there at this point. Or the other Tengu that's more recent that I don't remember the name of, or I guess Momiji is also a Tengu. That's a good reaction to Tengu, I think. Time to switch to Machinist in the middle of the dungeon. So they won't have a shotgun at this level, actually. They had their own special element in Neo 1? God, I wish I could have, like, enjoyed Neo 2, but I feel like the game doesn't give me the tools to make it easier for myself until I get past the difficult beginning, from what I recall. I yet burn with divinity. Cool. You're about to burn with being dead. Have fun. Bonk. At last, after centuries, I'm unbound. Shucks. I will say in advance that I won't be doing the Mount Gold giant pole of fun and good times, because all shall surrender to the flow. Oh, right, this bit. I think you have to stand behind the walls or whatever. But I won't be doing that. Haha, it's funny because you are also Aya, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I won't be doing that giant pole because we'll be playing like with NPCs doing single pulls just to experience the dungeons like in a relaxed way. So, you know, don't expect the funny Mount Gold pull to happen, because Alphino and Urianger are not programmed to deal with that. Yeah, underwater, like, glass tube structures are always cool. This is a universal truth of video game area design. See also, like, anytime Metroid has done this, which is probably at least twice, maybe 3 times. I know the Meridia one. Surely Metroid has done the funny glass tube more than once. Who dares to desecrate this holy place? This might be a decent time for the invincibility cooldown. Why not? That's fair. I was trying to move out of the way of the cone. I also need to remember that I have various other tools, such as arm's length. Not that I'm struggling at all with, like, actually staying alive, so I don't need to remember all of my mitigations necessarily, but, like, to be a good tank, one must do this. I've never played BioShock. I don't feel like the BioShock games would be my cup of tea, as the saying goes. Not that I drink tea. Oh, this is where Bonewicka's stuff is. That's interesting. People are always, whenever they have the Kupo, not Kupo Fortune, the irregular Tomestones events, one of which is happening again soon, they always have like a Bonewicka set, and I think people are like interested in that, but they could just play this dungeon, couldn't they? Oh, you! Daidarabachi. I sort of remember this. Hie you from this sacred place! Well, I guess I can't... Why do we have a... This is definitely reusing Sephiroth model, right? Like, Sephiroth's, like, bone structure, model-wise, I mean. This is absolutely a Sephiroth. The land take you, claim you. Did I avoid something without even realizing it? Probably. Okay, tanking this is kind of funny because it appears that most of the fight is happening behind me. Swallow you, consume you. A shimmering lake appears. Probably don't stand in that if I had to guess. Oh, I thought I had Holy Spirit. Oh no, the dancer. Okay, this fight is very funny as a tank because I think most of the mechanics are happening behind me to everyone else. And like, I barely have to care. And also like, I got hit for some reason. I don't really understand, but that's a silly fight. Oh, is that actually a standardized... None shall also surrender to the Tempest. Is that actually a standardized call-out that happens more often than that? Gathering ethereal energy? That's sort of basically what winding up for a punch is, so that makes sense. Oh, is this the dungeon where you fight the Monkey King at the end? It is, isn't it? I was wondering when that guy was going to show up. I forgot about... I remembered that he was in there somewhere. Sun Wukong, that's the Monkey King name. That freaking guy who's in every video game, eventually. If you allow a video game to persist long enough, Sun Wukong appears in it. It just sort of manifests. This is how the Monkey King just works. Ah, the Dragon Weasel. Everyone knows about those. Okay, this is a dead end. I keep noticing all the small imperfections in how I am playing the video game. But they're also conflicting with my general perception that I seem to be doing pretty well, so that's weird. I mean, I guess you don't have to play perfectly in this game at all times, except for in like the really high level stuff. And maybe noticing the small imperfections in my rotation is a good skill to have. I don't know. I'm just sort of rambling as the dungeon continues. Oh, many bird. Multi-bird. There he is. Now the real question is, why can't you get the staff as a dragoon? Oh, a challenge! Let us dance, you and I. I know you can get at least some kind of similar kind of staff. Also, wow, mine is a most unique weapon. Observe. I don't remember if that's the thing that just always knocks you back or if there's a solution to that. But also, that was an unmarked tank buster, sir. I was thinking that I would, like, block that or something. Is this like a... Oh, no. Okay, so that's like an alternating AoE then. So now I have to be far away, right? Yeah, kinda? No? Ah, but it would be unfair to not let the others join in the fun. Oops, I messed up. Monkey Magic's meter is rising. Will my rod have the last word? Apparently not. Then for my final trick. Oh. Yeah, you don't get a lot of time to react to that, huh? I guess you're just supposed to assume how that one works. These two should be killed at about the same time. Okay. I guess for the tethers, I'm not supposed to intervene in any way. That's not a tank problem. Blah. There is some kind of like staff type deal somewhere that the Dragoon can use. I think it's a cash shop item. Hooray! I felt like I didn't quite understand a lot of that fight, but also it was fine. Joy! But Sucro still looks angry about it. Don't worry, the monkey's fine. A quarterstaff job would be cool. I would like that. Hey, someone stuck around to be commended. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure my Wondrous Tales is probably... Yeah, I have to go get a new one. Well, hold on. We have to look at... Oh, we can't look at the funny box. We just have to observe it from afar. It's a box. I don't know why that sound effect keeps happening. My tails have gone stale. Oh, so it's if it's glowing. Okay. That does help. Oh, it's a male sound in this case. Okay. I gotcha. No. I'm actually going to teleport to Idyllshire and grab a new Wondrous Tales, just in case anything that we do now happens to fall under its purview. I don't know if actually they would. Other than that dungeon that we just completed, that might. But still though. While I'm thinking about it, I'll go get one. Oh yeah, the other cat is here. Oh no, this journal's all old and dusty smelly. Thanks, Chloe. See you later, Karma. I don't think Chloe will ever ask you for Unreal stuff, but I think the person who does ask about Unreal stuff shows up in the same spot of Idyllshire. So like, I guess that would probably, I don't know. That's too bad. I wish I remembered the exact delivery of That's Too Bad from Chaos Wars. I mean, I feel like this is a mostly harmless inclusion of Wukong. Even though I was like, yeah. This one isn't a problem or anything. It's just kind of funny that Sun Wukong's in everything. I have the box. Legends in countless cultures tell of sacred relics that bring death and misfortune to those foolish enough to unleash their magics. Fortunately, that duty falls to Soroban. Oh no. But yeah, I think this would all be extreme stuff. Like I think it's pretty funny how much of this is just stuff that's impossible to look at. Like we could do Void Ark, we can't do Puppet's Bunker. We haven't gotten to Omega Sigma Scape yet, or Eden. Or Abyssos. Or the Crown of the Immaculate. Or the Seed of Sacrifice. There's like so many spoilers in a Chloe journal. I think I know more or less what all of those actually are, but I shouldn't. I blame the internet. And I can help you do Void Ark too if you like. That would be no problem at all. I should check my mail. Is there, oh, there's a mail Moogle right here. Wow, 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 a dog! Unfortunately, I already have this dog. But thank you for the dog regardless. Unfortunately, I already have the dog. Do you have the dog? Did you send me the dog without having the dog yourself? Should I return the dog to you? Don't worry about it, it's fine. It's funny. I appreciate your funny messages about dogs. I suppose so, but there's also the icons there. Yeah. I've effectively hit 90 way too early. Because, I mean, yeah. As far as the secret sacrifice, no, the Seed of Sacrifice. I mean, you can sort of see this icon here. I might only be able to tell what this is because I know what this is from the icon, but like, yeah. The Crown of the Immaculate, though, like, that icon, even though I do also know what that is a lot less, like, parsable. I'm looking forward to when I eventually do get to the Seed of Sacrifice, though, because it's going to be cool. I don't know all of the surrounding context of it, but I do know it, and I do know the song. It is beyond what I've played before, but I do know it because of just, like, absorbing knowledge from the internet in the time when I wasn't really playing the game. Especially because I often want to listen to cool music, even though I haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, the part where I truly know almost nothing is going to be 6.0. But the part where I start not having actually played it myself is approximately 5.2. And like various side contents here and there. Like I hadn't done Evilise before. I'm also excited for them because they're going to be better parts than Evilise, and also I wouldn't have played them. Not to keep dunking on Evilise, but it is funny to do so. But yeah, like, in terms of future Sucro plans, let me see here. In terms of stuff I haven't seen or done all of myself, I haven't seen all of Omega, and that's pretty soon. I haven't done the Rathalos quest, and that's pretty soon. I haven't done most of the role quest lines, because I only did, like, the DPS one from Shadowbringers. I haven't done most of Eden. I haven't done any of the main story past 5.1. I haven't done most of the near raids. I haven't done or seen any of the Sorrow of Wurlight, the weapons quests, I guess. I haven't seen Tales from the Shadows, of course. And then Endwalker is like almost entirely stuff I know nothing about except for like a handful of boss fights that are in the 6.x series. And I know what the final boss of 6.0 looks like and what they're called, but I don't know what that means at all. So yeah. Oh, you're totally welcome to join me for Rathalos and stuff, Rika. You're welcome to join for whatever you're comfortable joining for. You're always welcome. Let's deliver a funny box. Oh. Tataru's gotten a fancier outfit. Welcome back, Sucro. Did you find the mysterious box of doom or whatever it was you're looking for? You have returned. Kami be praised. I do not think I could endure even a moment's more training. Wait. Wait, that's not the Scion Traveler outfit, actually. That's pretty different. It's got like a long coat to it. She's also got a book. This is actually, I think what this is the Idleshire casting coat. Dyed pink. I'm forgetting what it's called off the top of my brain. But, she does have a tiny tie, that's true. But the specific plan for the order of future events, since it's being brought up. We've got Four Lords, 4.3, Heaven on High, 4.4, Omega, 4.5, Domed Adventurers Guild unlocking, just as a little side thing, and Rathalos. Those will kind of be whenever. Then for Shadowbringers, 5.0, Roll Quest 1, Eden Wing 1 and Wing 2, 5.1, Roll Quest 2, Near Zone, 5.2, Roll Quest 3, 5.3, Roll Quest 4, Roll Quest Epilogue begins, Eden Wing 3, Weapons Trials, 5.4, Roll Quest Epilogue Part 2, 5.5, Tales from the Shadows. You following so far? This is a lot of random words to be throwing out. And then Endwalker, the order of Endwalker stuff is a lot more nebulous since it's not technically all, it doesn't all exist yet, so yeah. But it'll generally follow, once I get to Shadowbringers especially, I'll generally follow the pattern of like main quest patch part, one segment of role quests, side quest part as much as is possible, main quest part, role quests, side quests, main quests, role quests, side quests, etc. And I've tried to, in the order I have, I've like worked with people to account for the fact that parts of the side quests are not all available at once in some cases. Like that's why Eden is split into the wings and so on. But yeah, I'm keeping everything within one expansion, so I'm not going to be doing like anything from, I'm not going to be saving like Omega for somewhere in Shadowbringers, for example, and so on. Hopefully that gives a generally clear idea of the order you can expect to see stuff in, but I'll try to also make it clear whatever I'm doing whenever I start doing stuff. So yeah. Meow. I hope that Cat becomes Auspicious as well. You got anything else to say, Inugami? Anyone else have anything to say about me having a cool box? Was it not just the other day you went to Yangsha to retrieve the box? But of course, where others would struggle, you thrive. I'm glad I'm making sure to talk to all of these people as much as possible, because they all actually do have changing text boxes and whatnot. Well, not all of them. I'm assuming some of them will start to say different stuff. Maybe not Nue. Oh, back already? Damn, I really ought to stop betting against you. Gotta find a way to weasel your way out of those gambling debts. Heh. Anyway. You probably, I'm guessing Kurogitsune will not have anything different to say very often, neither will Komenu. Wait, was that different? No, it was the same. But there are some that keep changing. Kamaitachi keeps changing. Byakko has different stuff to say. Senryu has added dialogue options eventually. I feel like there's definitely, some of these are gonna change, so I'm gonna keep talking to them just to check. But anyways. You're returned, and with the Tamade Bako of Geomancy, I got it. I bet it'd be cool if they added a Geomancer class at some point. Did I ever say that on stream? Probably not. But I've thought about it before. Did I ever mention my outlandish predictions for the 7.0 jobs? I have 3 ideas for those, and if any of them are true, I'm going to consider myself a winner. Hitting things with a giant bell would be great. Geomancer could also be the hammer class, easily, I think. Or like single, or like one-handed axes, maybe? Because they've done that before, too. All of those would be cool. But my outlandish ideas for like 7.0 potential jobs are as follows. 1, if they add another tank, they will use twin blades and refer to Final Fantasy IX a lot. I don't know exactly what they would be called or anything, but we have a Final Fantasy VII-esque tank with Dark Knight having some cloud animations. Then we have a Final Fantasy VIII tank in Gunbreaker, which is way more inspired by Squall than Dark Knight is by Cloud. So 9 is the next in line, obviously, and Twin Blades is a weapon type that doesn't exist yet. If they're not tanks, if there is no tank in 7.0, 2 of my ideas include Saboteur, a physical ranged DPS that uses stuff like grenades and is also like a debuff-focused counterpart to Dancer. So they would have a lower, like overall DPS, but they would be suited to debuffing enemies. And that would be like inspired by 13. And then for magical DPS, I'm going to think, I'm not sure if this is more of an outlandish idea than Saboteur is, but I think Morpher from Tactics Advance. Because I think they're like, people want Beastmaster, but we can't make pet AI good in a way that satisfies people, and we're tired of trying to do pet AI, so let's just make you turn into the beasts. It's morphing time. I think any of those ideas would be neat. That's all. That's my rant about my outlandish predictions that I don't really expect to actually come true too much. I expect that they're possible, and I think they would be cool. I think the more likely outcome is probably that at least one of the classes for 7.0 will be an original creation similar to Reaper. Similar to Reaper in the sense that it would be original and not directly based on a previous job. But I think out of existing Final Fantasy jobs and like concepts, a Twin Blade user, a Morpher, and a Saboteur would all be good for what's likely to be the next roles they implement. Because they're not going to do another healer right away. Probably. Because we just got Sage and Reaper, and we're not going to get another melee DPS right away because we just got Reaper as well. So I'm relatively confident that we're either going to get a tank and one of those, and either ranged and a ranged DPS, or we're going to get 2 ranged DPS, one of which is magic. Oh yeah, you're right. PSO Double Saber would be rad. I guess the Twin Blade class would have to be an original class because Zidane was just a thief or bandit of some kind and was not like super focused on using the Twin Blade. That was just the not daggers option that he had. But yeah, anyway. Very good, very good. Of course, there was no need to fear for the well-being of the warrior who faced my brother Byakko and lived. I feel like I'm getting off topic and rambling a lot in this stream, but I think that just means that I have energy today, which is probably a good thing. No one seems to be complaining. Let us brook no further delay and make ready for this next stage of Soroban's training. Listen well, everyone, for the magics we are about to unleash are ancient and terrifying. It is exceedingly dangerous, especially for Soroban. I wish you would stop saying that. Be at ease, Soroban. Byakko will devote his energies to maintaining the wards in Koryu's prison while we're occupied. Should you be indisposed for a time, we will manage. And I've been secretly practicing my Arcanima in preparation for a time like this, so don't worry. No matter what happens, we'll be ready. This is a part I was actually waiting for, because I distinctly remember Tataru's Arcanima showing up again in this questline. After all, we've each got to do our part if we're going to claim the fabulous riches. I mean, if we're going to save the Ruby Sea from certain doom. Yep. I'm surprised Tataru got to level 60. Yeah, 60. Her enthusiasm notwithstanding, I expect we will need to turn to you should this training go awry. Take a moment to see to your equipment, and let me know when you're ready to begin. That's right, it's a single-player trial. This is a part of this questline I definitely remembered, at least some details about. I know what you're thinking. Didn't she give Arcanist to go before and get betrayed by her carbuncle? Yes and yes, but that was then and this is now. I do not know what to expect, but I trust you will let no harm come to me. Everything's in order? Then let us begin. Tortoise in time. We've got a crowd watching. Everyone is here to observe the box. Now remember, Soroban. Once opened, the box will spew forth smoke. Remain still and let it wash over you. Surrender to the magic and let it transform you into an Auspice. Can Soroban even become an Auspice? I'm not exactly sure what the rules are for that. I know this is a reference to Turtles in Time also, but I don't know a lot about Turtles in Time other than it's a well-regarded Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game. Probably a beat-em-up? I think it's a beat-em-up. I think some people get beaten up in it, at the very least. Hopefully not the Turtles, because that means you get a game over, I think. Anyway. And you are certain this will be temporary? As honored as I would be to join your ranks, I fear I am too young to be so old. Come, you lot, let us retreat to a safer distance. If this were a Hildebrand game, there would be like a funny cartoon sound effect as everyone backed up at like Mach 10. I think I said Hildebrand game, but I meant like Hildebrand quest. Or something like that. Oh. Why did I expect the lid to be on a hinge or something? Cough hack wheeze. That's not surrendering to the magics. Well, I don't think it is, anyway. Huh. It's a fake. I knew it. Gosh, what a waste of time. There'd better be some treasure or something interesting inside. Tataru, no! Foolish urchin! Wah! Was that really necessary? You couldn't just ask me to move nicely? Sorbonne in the background. What? What's that look for? Is there something on my face? Oh, you're gonna have an old lady face or something? As a comedy prank? Yes, okay. My face! My beautiful face! It feels like old goat leather left in the sun! Get a hold of yourself, child. You've been aged nothing more. Be grateful you were not exposed longer, or you would have surely died. It'll be fine, Tataru. I may as well be dead already. I can't bear to go on like this. Did I not tell you before that the magic is fleeting? You need only endure it for a moment. All will be as it was. Ta-da! Hooray! Comedy. Meanwhile, Sorbonne is dead. Ah, so preoccupied with the urchin I've been that I completely forgot about Sorbonne. I hope he's not been overexposed to the magic. If he's been aged to excess, his Ari Mitama may already be... Oh. Ah! Well, that answers that. On your guard, I'm afraid he means to kill us all. He bathed in Tamare Bako's magic for far longer than the urchin, and so I expect he will not return to normal so quickly. In fact, I dare say he will retain this form long enough to destroy the temple if we do not subdue him. Well. Shazam! With me, Sucro, urchin, hold nothing back! Tataru's carbuncle has returned. Hello, and welcome. Gra, etc. Go, carbuncle, go! Said Tataru. The carbuncle is leaving now. Let's pay attention to what Tataru's carbuncle is doing for this fight, because it's the most important part of everything. Carbuncle just doesn't care. Tataru's just like... ... Desertion is punishable by death! My death! The carbuncle just left. Not again! Now Tataru's just running around screaming. Oh, she's healing me though. Wow, Tataru, how did you manage to become... How did you... Oh, she's down for the count. Tataru, how did you get a good physic as not a scholar? How did you do that? I don't like the sound of that. He marshals his strength for a mighty blow. Get behind me. Right. Hope I live to regret this. Oh dear, that was a bit more than I could handle. Forgive me, but the rest is up to you two. Genmu's flipped over again. I love seeing Tataru fight though. Even she's doing her best. See you later, Rika. Oh no. A little help, Sucro? Oh god. I don't know, Tataru. You seem like you're doing okay. Bugger. Why did she have to run? Tataru's trying to chase after me with the AoEs. That's very funny. Wow. Oh hey, Divine Veil works to affect Tataru. Why are there like 1,000 other Sorabans? Oh. He's growing weaker, don't let up. Ah, I messed it up. I need to use Fight or Flight before I use Goring Blade. Anyway. Complete. Apparently that was taxing for Sucro. Huh? What happened? Why do you all look so exhausted? Various comedy reactions. Oh, my dear Soraban, I knew you had potential, but it would seem I grossly underestimated your capacity for chaos. In any case, despite this unexpected turn of events, I should like to declare this training session a success. Let us take a moment to collect ourselves. I guess we won't explain anything to Soraban. Confound it, betrayed by my own carbuncle yet again. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I feel so very, very tired. By the way, the Sheng is here. Oh, hello there. Remember me? I was the fellow tasked with guarding the Tamate Bako of Geomancy. I hope you understand that I had no choice but to put you to the proof. What kind of guardian would I be if I let you have it without a fight, eh? Still, I didn't think you lot would use it like that. Time to check the NPCs for new words. Soraban, was it? He surpassed all expectations, to your temporary dismay perhaps, but to our ultimate benefit, I should think. Though regardless of what Genbu may have told you, if you had failed to subdue him, I would have intervened. The wards would have held long enough, I'm sure. Kamaitachi, did you bet against me again in that small period of time? That Kojin's something else, but he's still no Auspice, at least not yet. But if he was, I might be in trouble. Truth be told, this comes as a relief. Though Soraban's present strength pales in comparison to that of Byakko and myself, we now know for certain that his potential is extraordinary. I struggle to believe I could ever wield such power. All who are strong were once weak, Soraban. I am no exception. Until I met Tenzin, I was no more than the floundering turtle you see before you. You never did tell us how you fell in with him. Ah, well, if you wish to know the details... Turtle. I feel like this is just a good screenshot by itself, honestly. Long, long ago, when I'd lived 100 or so years and had only just begun to become something more, I received my first vision. A terrible calamity, one that would claim the lives of countless innocents, was imminent. But what was the little turtle to do? For a while I had seen the future with crystal clarity, I was powerless to stop it. I could but look on helpless as cities burned and men died. So it was for centuries, until one day. After 500 years, I'd grown stronger, more reckless. I believed I could make a difference. So when I foresaw a landslide that would bury a nearby village, I ventured forth to warn the people. Alas, while they were quick to discern I was no common animal, they could make no sense of my panicked flailings. To them I was a queer dancing turtle, a source of considerable amusement, for I knew not the words of men, and so my warnings fell on deaf ears. It would be no different. Yet again, they would die. The people turned and walked away, bored with the fleeting amusement. With a heart fit to burst with sorrow and despair, I made to quit the village. Just then I heard a voice, kind and gentle. "Little one, you look troubled. Tell me what burdens you so." Though I knew he was addressing me, I doubted he would understand. Still, I told him of my vision, of the landslide I knew would bury the village and everyone in it, and my vain attempts to warn them. "Your kindness is only surpassed by your bravery, little one. Fear not, I, Tenzin, and my comrade Byakko shall act in your stead." Sword noise. As Tenzin drew his sword, a great white tiger emerged from the wilds. "Shall we give them a show?" he whispered to the beast, which inclined its massive head ever so slightly in response. Sword sound 2. Sword sound 3. Sword sound 4. Then they ran into the center of the village and began to fight as if they were bitter enemies intent on killing one another. Blade and fang flashing, too fast for the eye to follow. The two broke apart for an instant, and Tenzin bellowed, "Hearken to me, this white demon thirsts for the blood of man. If you value your lives, flee this place, seek shelter in the next village." Needless to say, the bewildered villagers gathered up whatever was at hand and ran screaming, too terrified to even look back. As the three of us watched them go, I heard the white demon mutter, "You know full well I've not once tasted man flesh." The village was later destroyed in a landslide, as I'd foreseen, but for the first time I'd managed to make a difference. Yeah, it's a great trick. Great idea. A little rude to, portray Byakko as the harbinger of despair that he had been believed to be for so long, but, in the name of saving a village, perhaps. Thereafter, we became traveling companions and close friends. I shared with him my visions, and together we labored to save those that we could. On the eve of what may perhaps be the greatest calamity I've ever foreseen, I feel Tenzin's absence keenly. Nevertheless, we must carry on. You may not have him, but you've got Sucro, and you know she's no slouch. Leave it to me. Oh, indeed I do, and for this blessing we're grateful beyond measure. Right then, Soroban, we must resume your training at once, ere we forget the lessons of your time as an auspice. Yes, of course. Getting back to it? In that case, I should return to the mountain of paperwork in Kugane I've been doing my best to ignore. Oh, and Soroban, I left the takoyaki with Kamaitachi for safekeeping. You're not to get any until you've earned it. When we next call upon you, Sucro, I expect it will be to deal with one of my comrades. Shirk not your own training, for it will not be easy. Determined. Under these circumstances, I do not think I will have time to return to Tamamizu for even a short spell, if you would be so kind as to inform the Elder. Nod. Alright. So I guess that's part 2 of all this, then. Allow me to check something. For lords. Quests. Okay, so there's 3 after this, I guess. 2 trials. I think it's probably safe to say we're about halfway through this questline. Because I think the final part's more of an epilogue type of deal. Crunch, 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 crunch. By the kami, it's been too long since I've had quality takoyaki. Oh bugger, the urchin girl wanted me to give it to Soroban. I knew that would happen. Soroban, I have bad news about the takoyaki. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. When the time comes, I will send for you, Sucro. Be ready for whatever lies ahead. I kind of like that Inugami has not yet had a new text box, because I just like the idea of Inugami constantly proclaiming that men fear his name at all times. People fear their name, whatever. Although they do say feared by men constantly, so. What exactly do they say? Men speak in hushed tones, yes. Right. Anyways. Yeah, exactly. I guess that's a fair thing to state repeatedly if someone is talking to you a lot and you don't really want them to be. Perhaps. A pleasure, Sucro. Did you have the chance to visit with Soroban? How fares he with his training? Well, there was a boss fight. Extraordinary. He's always been diligent and hardworking, but even so. To think he's blessed with such incredible potential, I cannot help but wonder who else among us might be possessed of similar abilities. Haha, you said among us. Yet I understand his trepidation. With great power comes great responsibility. I did. As is often said, we may need to keep a closer eye on him to ensure he does not succumb to fear and attempt to flee his training. I mostly ignore the spirit binding system entirely, as much as possible. To be honest. Oh, I'm almost level 76. Wow. The firebird down below. Humming. How kind of you to pay us a visit, Sucro. Now I need not summon you. But a moment ago, a certain surly cat returned with another missive addressed to you. See for yourself. Brave adventurer who stood fast and quelled the raging Arimitama of my comrade Byakko. The time has come for you to return to Racen Temple. I presume the auspices of Hell's Lid have need of you once more. If so, give my regards to them and dear Soroban. And yeah, this is where you learn hum. There might also be something else. No, not in this. I think... Hold on. Typity type. It's... Ah, right. Another emote, or rather expression in this case, that you get that Sucro will learn very soon is Ponder, which you get from 4.3 MSQ. So that's fun. guess I could just fly up from here, probably. I'm not sure how much I should try to do in one stream. But I guess I'm flying towards the objective, so I guess I'm doing more. I don't know. I know that I stated back when I started trying to stream more that it was okay to have shorter streams. But I'm also just not really sure how much I should do at once. I don't remember how involved the final step of all of this is after the second trial. Or the second of the remaining trials. But yeah, I will at least be right back once again. Okay, hello. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I need to just ask a question. Would you say, knowers of the video game, that I am approximately halfway through the Four Lords questline at this point? More or less. Because I'm thinking about the pacing of stuff. And I feel like if I were to do more now, there's a good chance that the next stream would end up being very short, or I'd have to throw something on at the end. But if I were to go ahead and stop now, the next stream would probably be at about equal length. And I feel like that would flow better in a way. Yeah, there's like 3 quests left. 2 of those have trials, and one of those is like, I don't know, maybe there's like an epilogue type thing. I'm not entirely sure. Also, this pattern on the floor looks like it could be the pattern of a shortbread cookie or something. So. But yeah, I'm just thinking about the pace of everything, and I don't want to like... I feel like it would make more sense to me personally to just call it now and like be okay with having a shorter stream. Try to get myself some more rest. Because I do need that, even though I did seem to be kind of high energy for a lot of today. And then, like, we can cleanly complete the second half or so of this the next time, and that'll be another... This is a good stopping point, is a good way to put it as well. My sleep schedule lately has been all sorts of messed up. So I need to try and, like, do something about that. And yeah, that's also true. Exhaustion can sneak up. Like, I was feeling pretty high energy for a while, and that sort of, like, started declining a little bit. I mean, I still sound kind of high energy, relatively speaking, probably. But yeah. In any case... Hey, that's another, gladiator sword to have in the future, so that's cool. Oh, that could be helpful. Anyway, yeah, stuffed alpha and also stuffed Bomboko show up way too often on retainer adventures. But anyway, yeah, thanks everyone for watching the stream. This has been Final Fantasy XIV. If all goes well, on Friday we will complete the rest of this little storyline. And, yeah. So... Correct. So... I'd like to ask, if you're not already following, please consider following, because that is a very helpful action you can take. And if you know anyone else who might be interested in the streams, feel free to spread the word, because that's also very helpful. As I've started to say, if I get more followers, I can have more wacky emotes, and I guess that's kind of an incentive or something. Really, I just feel like I don't have enough emote slots for all the shit posting I want to do. But anyway, if you would like to support me in other ways, there's a variety of other links you can find in various places. As mentioned previously, the donation page does in fact work now. You can donate through PayPal or directly. I think directly might be even better than PayPal. PayPal has a nasty habit of like showing people's names that aren't their names anymore and such like that. And also being vaguely evil, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of complications with donating to a streamer and what is the most helpful to the streamer slash generally ethical slash generally good idea ways to do so. And I don't know all the details, but if you're interested, there's a variety of choices available. But I don't need the money that badly, so don't worry about it too much. I'm just rambling even more. All that said, thanks for watching, and I guess I will see you again on Friday. Have a good rest of the day, slash night, slash week, slash year, slash decade, slash century, slash eternity. Have a good times in the future. I will see you later.